Rachel, thank you very much indeed. This is 9-ball, and we're on cloud 9 to be here in Poland for the World 9-ball Pool Championship. Just imagine the pressure that Wojciech Szewczyk is under. Big crowd in for day one. The overwhelming majority of them supporting him. We just had that rousing national anthem, and now he's got to produce on the tabletop.
This is fantastic. What a start. This is really building up nicely. Day one. He's got a good feel out there, hasn't he, Phil? You can feel the pressure already.
The first rack?
Timeout after 7 racks? Or?
No timeout. If you need toilet, you can go. The first rack, Wojciech Szewczyk to break.
Here we go then. The first shot of thousands. Well, the break-off was rather unusual. In goes the one, and the cue ball so nearly followed it.
Yeah, that's what we'll be talking about over the coming days. Players are trying to make that one ball in the side, so that was a job well done. As we've seen in previous events with this break shot, cue ball can get a little loose. So he's playing the push out. If you're tuning in for the first every time, after the break shot, the very next shot you can play a push out, and usually the player playing the push out is when they are hooked on the lowest ball. In this case, the lowest ball on the table is the blue 2. So Bashar will have the option of playing this shot. If he doesn't fancy it, he can pass it back to his opponent. I think what's key for any opening match you play, this one more than ever, is try and play a little bit conservative, because you've not really had many shots on the table. Everything's brand new, so you need to get a bit of a feel of the environment, the table, the setting that you're in. Bashir decided to go for a long bank.
Yeah, Bashar Hussein Abdul Majid is definitely the underdog in this match. There's no escaping that, but he's certainly not out of this. Szewczyk, yes, he will fancy his chances, but he's by no means a certainty. Let's go back to 2015 at a very different venue to this, York Hall in Bethnal Green, when Bashar Hussein was part of the Qatar team that defeated USA in the first round of the World Cup of Pool. Shane Van Boning and Mike DeShane representing the Stars and Stripes on that occasion.
Yeah, I said in
Give me 1 second,
the
please.
Prez, he's played in a lot of these.
Please move back or just go on the sides on
Matchroom
the chairs, because
events.
it's a bit disturbing for the players, not touching the sides, the sets, okay?
So getting off to a good
Thank you.
start is going to be key. This shot's all about the cue ball. He's got to avoid traffic. He's got to avoid balls. That'll be okay. That'll be more than okay. Fair enough, he didn't pot the ball clean, but it's understandable. He's going to be a bit shaky. Big shot coming up here. He's going to be from the pink 4. That is over the pocket to get on the purple 5 ball. The back rail, the bottom rail would have been better there, because then he would have had a natural shot just to float up. Now he's got to play a bit of a stunt shot, and this cue ball he can get away from you early on in these matches. So big shot coming up. It's all about speed.
Needed to catch a little more of that green 6 ball. As it was, it just caressed off the green, and now he's hooked.
It's amazing. If he'd have found the bottom rail on the red 3 ball, he couldn't fail for positioning, but because he had to play a shot there. Look at this, playing the dark jump shot. Trying to bop over the 6, pot the purple 5.
Foul shot.
What a shame.
Hand.
Got the pot, but the cue ball went on the carpet. And of course, that is a foul shot called by our referee. Dezislava Boshalova. Horrible side call when you see the ball bouncing like that.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite jump shots, that, where they hold it. We call it the dart jump shot, and usually it's a sign of adrenaline, where you overpower the cue ball, and unfortunately found the arena floor. And this is just what Wojciech would want, because he's going to be feeling it. There's a lot of fans around centre court table, so he just needs to get off to a good start, and that will settle him down. Yeah, and that shot there just gives you an indication of how fast this table is running. He'll play the cue ball off 2 rails here. That will guarantee position for the 9 ball in the bottom right corner. So it's going to be this 9 ball to win the first rack in this opener.
It was the jump shot that went incorrectly. Yes, the pot was achieved, but the cue ball was placed on the floor, and that's not where you want it. From there, it was really routine for Wojciech Szewczyk, one of the many world-class Polish players finding themselves appearing and competing on home soil. What a treat that is. There you can see notable performance. He won the World 10-Ball Championship in the USA last year. His best performance in this event, the 9-ball, getting to the last 32. You have to think he's got a really good chance of going deeper than that this time, Cole.
Yeah, you wouldn't be shocked to see him in the depths of this event, but with so many quality Polish players, someone's going to play a key part in that. The main object for all these players right now is to win your opening maps. That goes without saying, but just get yourself into that final 64, get yourself in the main draw, then you feel like things really kick off. Let's have a look at this break again. He's trying to put the 1 in that side, and he's done another fine job at that. So both breaks he has made the yellow 1 ball in the side. Let's not forget this break format was changed for the 9-ball tour. The break was too easy, so the players had a vote. It was the middle of last year, I think it was the World Cup of Pool. Emily Fraser, the gaffer, she let all the players have a vote, and this is what the players voted, because they wanted the break to mean a little bit more. And now it does, because you can see on the left side of the table there's a bit of a cluster. So if Wojciech was to clear the table here, he's gonna have to play a couple of nice shots. Could play the hook, but he'd probably go for the pot. Yeah, he's gone for the pot. Don't blame him.
Glad you mentioned Emily Fraser. Going to get this in really early. The Matchroom team here, Emily obviously at the head of it, and Matt Lynch, Jake Aspey, and Phoebe Milliman does a wonderful job as well. They've put on another wonderful tournament. It's a lengthy line of these events, and they come up trumps every time.
That'll get you some brownie points, Phil. Well done. No, jokes aside, you're right. You know, it goes without saying, they work very hard. It often goes unnoticed. We just get to see the end product, and Wojciech's been a bit fortunate there. Didn't play that positional shot, but the flick on the 8-ball has actually left him quite nice on this pink 4. May play for the purple 5 in the same pocket. Could also roll forward to play for the purple 5 from left centre, but that can go wrong. Yeah, so he stuns it to play the purple 5 in the same pocket, and now you can see he's got a nice angle.
Carl, he's playing as well as he spoke yesterday in that interview with you. I thought he was terrific.
Yeah, the thing is, Phil, you know yourself, there's a lot of foreign players all over the world that play 9-ball. So, you know, sometimes you don't really speak to these people, do you? You say hello and whatever, but I thoroughly enjoyed that interview, and I thought, what a nice guy, spoke very well. So I sort of found a new friend, Phil.
If there's a doubles tournament coming up, Carl, I think he might well have a partner already, so I shouldn't pursue that.
Well, I was going to pick you, Phil.
Yeah, right.
This is all about making sure you leave yourself a pot on the 8. And then from the 8 to the 9, I think he's okay. He looks a little bit worried, but when he walks around, I think he'll realise he's fine. Even if that was a little bit tight, he could put a little bit of right-hand spin on the cue ball. Make this, he will do anyway. There you see he's just looking worst case scenario where I want this cue ball to finish. Because the table's so slick and the balls are brand new, again, this cue ball is very, very reactive, so that's why he's stalling a little bit. If this was a table in the club, he would have got down and played this cue ball off 3 rails. He'd have gone forward off the 3 rails, but now you see he's aiming low. He's just a little bit worried about the cue ball. Yeah, he's really got him this. He knows it's going to fly off that rail. Could even play this like a drag shot really slow and hold for the 9 in the top left. Oh, I thought he was going to come over. That's fine. He's left himself a little chop shot on the 9. I would say, Phil, the only thing where, if you look at the top Polish players, let's say there's 10 of them, playing in this format right now on the main table, this arena, he's probably the thing that lets them down a little bit at the moment.
There must have been, given the circumstances, given the location, early nerves for Wojciech Szewczyk, but he's calmed them down well. Those nerves have been quelled and he leads by 2 racks to 0. So plenty of other action going on around this vast arena. We've got 5 practice tables to the back of us, 16 tables
especially with the flags waving,
as part of the competition.
Okay.
So it's going to be constant action throughout the day. This is table 3, where Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, one of the players of 2022, is making a pretty good start to the World Championship of 2023. He's got a routine 8 and 9 ball, you would think, to take a 2-0 lead over Szewczyk. And this is the most routine pot you can imagine for the Spaniard. He's up against Szewczyk, and it's so far so good for Francisco Sanchez Ruiz.
the 3rd rack, Wojciech Szewczyk to break, leading 2 racks to 0.
Now, you might look at that graphic if you're a snooker follower and think, race to 9, that's a lengthy match, but in 9-ball pool, not so. It's a meaningful distance, quite rightly, for the World Championship, but you could never call it a marathon, Cole.
Good break again. Look at the 1 ball here. Finds the centre pocket again, so he's really found his aiming point now. That's not easy to do. Can't quite see enough of the right-hand side of the 2 ball. You can see the left edge. Tricky whenever there's distance to lay a good hook on your opponent. There you see the scarf in the background. girl. Got to avoid the scratch. Oh, he's played this well. Played this very well. Get that cue ball in behind the brown 7.
We can't overstate the strength in depth of Polish pool. We've talked about it already, Carl. And I think what you said right at the top of the show about sooner or later, Poland is going to be represented on the European Mosconi Cup team. Could not agree more.
Yeah, that time will come, without a doubt. You know, a lot of the guys have won some tournaments already. You know, obviously Karol Skawerski's World Pool Masters winner. You know, they've won other big tournaments throughout the year. You know, when you look at Wojciech, but when we talk about this, you know, the big two, the US Open and the World 9-Ball Championships, they do everything right as well, don't they? They put, you know, they look professional. They put the right practice in. They speak great. They seem to have turned it around here in Poland. Something's gone on. I remember a decade ago they were no good, Phil. It's like a walkover back in the day.
Well, I remember a decade ago, World Pool Masters in this city, and they were superb. Karol Skawerski won the event, and so many of them went deep.
Yeah, I was joking when I said they were rubbish, but there was like 2 or 3 of them, weren't they? You know,
yeah,
could play. Now there's about 10. This is horrible, this. Oh, he's done well there. He's done very well. It's not going to be good news because he's left an easy pot, but at least you made a good hit.
Not a certain run out this. That would be premature to say that, but the balls are nicely placed. No clusters, no obvious hurdles.
The first 2 shots are going to be easy. It's this shot coming up because he's got to get from the red 3 to the pink 4, and he may stun the cue ball over past the 9. He's going to give you a look where he wants it. He'd love it to land right there.
Yeah, the normal top 2 pockets, they're blocked by other balls. So it's the pink 4 to the left-hand middle as we're looking, which is the obvious option.
This looks to be very good indeed, and it really is. Well, I like what Wojciech's doing in this match, Phil. Usually he does play a little bit quicker. He's one of them types of players that likes to get on with it, but I think he's using all his experience. He wants to make sure he doesn't let his opponent win a couple of easy racks, and he keeps the pressure on. He just wants to get this victory. Often the game of 9-ball is all usually about 1 or 2 shots in a rack, and it was that shot to get him on the pink 4 what looks like he's going to win rack 3, because the balls, they're all sat really nicely for Wojciech. It'd be a big error to not clear the table here. Once the cue balls are slowed down a bit, that's fine as well.
That shot was a prime example. You were talking about it being reactive, the surface, and wow, it is. Plus, it's really, really fast generally.
Yeah, it's hard to explain to somebody at home who plays the game of 9-ball in a local club how different the game is out on that main stage. It really is. It's a different hit. It's a different thought process. The safety shot from the break shot that was give Wojciech this chance in rack 3, and he's looking good.
It's a cracking exhibition, this. No signs of the nerves I predicted, none whatsoever. Perfect pull from the pole. Playing on home soil, Wojciech Szewczyk hasn't put a foot wrong. He leads by 3 racks to 0.
Rack 4.
And right now, there is only one winner, surely. Wojciech Szewczyk, 3-0 up, and looking very good indeed.
Pay attention to the yellow 1 ball. That's the ball at the front of this diamond shape. He's trying to pot it in the left centre. He's done 3 out of 3 so far. Make that 4 out of 4. That is not easy to do. We've seen this over the last 12 months on tour, haven't we, Phil? And often the players who can keep making that ball, obviously you're going to get first look at the table, but it's not always going to be pretty for you.
By the way, Majid is 3-0 up already on Marco Tutor. Dominik Jastrab from here in Poland, 3-0 up on his fellow countryman Mariusz Skonecki. Johan Chua from the Philippines, 2-1 up on Abdullah Al-Yusuf. So much action all around this room, and if you want to keep up to date with the live scores, just go to matchroom.com. Everything is there for you, and of course we'll keep you verbally informed as well about any developments as the day goes on.
The pot was easy, but it was the speed of the positional play what he's perfected. Again, he's played a couple of really nice speed positional shots so far. And now you can see it's just connect the dots again. Once he perfected that opening shot, now this is all just connect the dots.
You know, in a lot of Matchroom open events where we have 256 players at the start, on table 1 you get matches where you've got a giant of the game, a true pro, a regular tournament winner, up against basically a dreamer, and you get lots of one-sided scorelines inevitably. This is not that kind of situation. Bashar Hussein Abdul Majid is a proven international campaigner, and yet he's playing very much second best. This is a really good exhibition.
Yeah, he's doing a job here. He's doing a very professional job indeed. I've played plenty of pool matches over the time where you can often take your opponent a little bit lightly. You can find yourself in a match where it's 2-2, 3-3, and things can start to go wrong. So you've got to treat everybody the same. There you can see he's going to just float this cue ball up off this side rail, just sneak past the 8. May have a little bit of an angle on the brown 7, so he'll just go forward. Yeah, watch the cue ball now. He's going to go forward off that rail and back out into the centre. He's got the pace of this table down nicely. It really has.
The phrase shelling peas comes to mind. Wojciech Szewczyk absolutely dominant, not just in terms of the scoreline, but the way things are going. Now, over on table 2, that's Abdullah Al-Yusuf. He's got a really good chance of taking this rack. Hard to believe he won't. Up against a very good opponent, though, in Johan Chua from the Philippines.
Look how much weight he's lost, Phil. He's been on a mission. He's lost another person. He's been in the gym, getting himself ready for the 2023 tour.
The gym, explain that concept. So it's all level over there? Not here. It really is one-sided, and that's the way that Szewczyk wants to continue.
Break leading 4 racks to 0.
Looking dejected, Abdul Majid, and understandably so.
Is it going to be 5 from 5? One ball in the side. It is. I'll tell you what, I don't think we'll... I'm not saying we're not going to see this again, but he's potted the 1 in the side, 5 on the spin. We might not see that again all week on this table, Phil.
The thing is, sometimes when a player goes out on a spying mission and they play late in the day and they see how the table's breaking, then they can get some kind of frame of reference and work things out. He was going in completely fresh with no earlier guidance at all, so to do this, he's clearly found a sweet spot.
Yeah, the good thing is you're not guaranteed easy shots off the break. And this is proving it, because Bashir's been at the table, hasn't he? He's had a few shots. Yeah, some shots have been from hook positions, but at least he's getting out of his chair, because the chances of breaking and running a load of racks with this break format is a lot slimmer than the old break format, let's just say. So another good safety shot, and it was the speed again. Look at the cue ball just coming round and using that pink 4 as a blocker. This is the easy hit. He's going to swerve round, try and come off the back rail, kick the 2 up the table, keep the cue ball down at the bottom. Oh, he's not hit it full enough. I'll be okay though. You'll be happy with the outcome there. Wasn't the shot he played, but the end product is pretty much what it's about.
The ball spotted graphic tells us that Abdul Majid has had a minimal impact on the match so far. Very interesting there, he was fulsome in his apology for the little bit of luck he had, and let's face it, it was only a little bit. I think that comes from the fact that he's played an awful lot of international amateur snooker. Played in quite a few big events around the world. So pool is not his only cue sport.
Hitting the 2 ball is easy, so the top players are not just trying to hit and hope, they're trying to play a shot here, they're trying to work out what the best percentage way of playing this is. He's playing it soft, trying to hit it thin. This is a good effort, very good effort. That was the shot he played. He was trying to get the cue ball over to the right. He knew the 8 ball and the 9 ball could help. This is why he played this a little thinner off the second rail. Watch the cue ball now. See how it hit the right side of the 2? Nicely judged.
Of course, he has potted a ball with a jump shot in rack 1. The only problem was the cue ball went off the table, and that was that. Ever since, he's been fighting a losing battle.
Yeah, because where the 9 ball is, it's too far, it's too close to the 2, so that's why he can't play the jump shot this time. Needs to hit a rail. Yeah, the purple 5 hit a rail. After contact, a ball, any ball on the table must strike a rail unless you pocket the ball. It's as simple as that. Let's have another look. So you see the 2 ball hits the purple 5. Because the 5 just hits the top rail, it's a legal shot. I think you can pot this ball, but after you pot it, looks like it's going to be hard to miss the pink 4 ball. So how do you get on the red 3? Maybe if it's hit full, it would hold. Yeah, that's what he's tried. That's what he's tried. If he doesn't hit that pink 4 full, I don't believe he could have potted the 3. So that was another good shot.
The 4 went in. He would have preferred it hitting the jaw of the middle pocket and staying on the table, because now he's got to get from 3 to 5. That's not a simple task.
He's obviously got a little funny angle here, so drawing the cue ball back, the cue ball, yeah, you can see there, drawing the cue ball back, he's probably going to bump that 9, so he's either going to have to play the delayed draw to Mr. 9, or try and pinch a bit, get it straight back. Oh, he's done well. What a shot that is.
And now another rack should be in the lap of Wojciech Szewczyk.
And this is what the best players do, they pull out these little funny shots. He didn't have a lot of room to play with there.
We talked about his victory in the World 10-Ball Championship last year. He became a surprising finalist, actually. Christopher Tevez from Peru, 10-8, to win that world title. He's also won the European 10-Ball in 2021, and he's won the Polish 9-Ball Championship, no mean feat, 3 times since 2018.
Yeah, the Polish Federation is actually based here in Kielce, so when I was talking to Wojciech, he was telling me it seems a little bit strange coming to Kielce to play in the World Championships. Usually it's to come and train and play with the rest of the team under the Federation. Bashar is just looking on, wondering if he will get a rack on the board. It's not looking good, buddy. He's not looking good, but he will still have a life left, Phil. It's not all doom and gloom. 128 players. Playing double elimination down to the 64. So basically, you win 2 matches, you qualify. It's 2 matches out of 3. So if Bashar goes on to loses, he's got to win his next 2 to make that final 64 draw. It's that simple.
5-0, more than halfway towards victory already. And it's very difficult to see this turning around because Szewczyk is so efficient, so on the ball. The money here is very big indeed. This is the first huge Matchroom 9-ball event of the season, and boy, we're in at the deep end. $60,000 US to the winner, 30,000 for the runner-up, a total prize fund of $325,000 US at stake this week. To get into the money, you have to get to the losers qualification round, $500. That provides some form of consolation and I suppose defers the travel expenses slightly. The way he's playing though, Szewczyk must be overwhelmed with relief because it's so easy when you're in front of your home fans to tighten up, for things to go incorrectly, and suddenly you feel as though a world of pressure is on the shoulders.
Rack 6, Wojciech Szewczyk to break, leading 5 racks to 0.
Yeah, it's winner breaks, but even the scoreline where it says 5-0, it's not been 5 break and runs, it's not been a package. Six from 6 on the 1 ball. Needs the 8 ball to pull up soon, otherwise he can't pop the 2 in the corner.
He's got the joint most dominant scoreline around this arena. Francisco Sanchez Ruiz is 5-0 up on So Shaw. Ko Ping Chung 4-0 up on Mikhail Gavankiak. Niels Svein 4-0 up on Muhammad Daydat.
He's got a bit of a problem here because that 8 ball has stopped the 2 going in the corner. Could he play the 2 off the 8 in the side? It's not guaranteed. There is a way where usually you can sort of smash it off the 8 and it's guaranteed to go in the side, but because the 8 is a little bit low, it's not easy. Is he going to have a go at that? was a bit too full on the 8. So now we're going to get a look at Bashir, see what he's about, because at least he's got an open shot at a couple of pots. Go back to the very first rack, Phil, when he hooked himself behind that 6 ball. That was the one that got away. But we're going to get another look. Can he make something happen in this match?
There's no doubt he can play the game. He won the Gulf Championship 9-ball in 2021. Overcoming Wojciech Majid in the final 11-10, and we know just how good Majid can be. Just seems a little shaky on the shot, though. That was the case in the first rack. You saw there the shoulder, the right shoulder into the shot.
Doesn't need to go crazy with the cue ball because the pink 4 is nicely over that side pocket. Yeah, he's just losing it a little bit, but he's still there. This is still cuttable. Cue ball is getting away from Bashar, isn't it? Now this is tricky. Can he go forward with the cue ball and avoid the scratch? If not, he may have to dig down into the cue ball. Usually when a player misses this, they usually fire it into that left rail as we're looking.
Surprised that one went in. It caught an awful lot of the jaw. In fact, it caught the cushion before the jaw.
Yeah, we see this at all the events, you know, early on. Because the balls are new and the cloth's brand new. And this is 9-ball pool at the end of the day. You're supposed to be able to cheat the pocket. That's why we see a lot of the flare shots, the big bank shots, the jump shots, the cue ball spinning round. But the 5 might have went in, Phil. But now this is not good. He's got to jack up. Because if he rolls the ball, the cue ball would roll forward after potting the green 6 and clip the 8. Usually when a player starts to chase the finish because the cue ball's gone wrong, usually that ends up in a missed pot. Well, he's still going, isn't he? He's still going to claim his first rack.
That was a little bit of a flail at the shot, but the green 6 went in regardless. Let's see him get off the mark here. 3 more pots required.
Doesn't look pretty, this, but the balls are disappearing. There's only 2 left now. It's quite a big angle as well, so looks like he's got to go twice across. Something tells me if he does pot this, he's not going to land great on the 9-ball, so he's a couple of decent pots away here.
And the pace defeated him.
Well, we felt like the miss was going to come. He got a little further than I thought he was going to in this rack, to be fair. But you can't keep chasing the finish. It's all about cue ball control, the game of 9-ball.
In some respects, he sacrificed the pot to gain perfect position on the 9. And Bashar Hussein Abdul Majid is now fearing the worst. The 8 was missed by his opponent. The 8 and 9 knocked in by Wojciech Szewczyk, who's now 2/3 of the way to opening this World 9-Ball Pool Championship with a whitewash.
Wojciech Szewczyk
3-2 up on Max
leading
Eberle.
6 racks to 0.
Nikos Economopoulos 5-2 up on Ruben Bautista. And here, well, can he make it? 7 yellow 1 balls into that left-hand middle pocket off the break. Of course he can.
Well, we might never see this again all week. 7 on the break.
Szewczyk could sell that secret for a pretty penny.
Well, I would expect the players to become a little bit better of the break. You know, when it was first announced, I remember, I think it was the UK Open when it first come in, and the players was having a bit of a nightmare with it. So the players will have got better at it, but to pot 7, it's not easy. But he's not run the racks. Here we see again the 2 ball doesn't look like he's got a full pocket past the brown 7. So he may have to play a safety shot. Yeah, if you're right behind it, you would pop that off that right-hand jaw. I don't know if he fancies it or not. No, he's ducked. So that just shows you. Needs cue ball to slow down a bit. He's overrun this one a little bit. You can see the disappointment. Even though he's 6-0 up, he will not be happy with that one.
Wojciech Szewczyk isn't the only Polish player going really well. What about Sebastian Batkowski? 5-2 up on Austria's Mario He. That's over on table 5. On table 8, Simona Corral 5-3 up on Mustafa Alner. The Poles in general relishing being on home turf. Well, in the unofficial race to claim the first victory of this championship, Szewczyk is falling just a little behind, because on table 3, I can tell you, Francisco Sanchez-Ruiz 7-0 up now on Sochaux, 2 racks away from a whitewash.
Yeah, the #1 ranked player on the World 9-Ball Tour. What a season he had last year, Phil. Can he replicate or even get close to what he achieved in 2022? Wojciech's kicking. He's trying to sneak in that little gap between the 9. Not much room to play with. Oh, he's done well. He's done very well. Look at this.
A couple of times he's kicked brilliantly.
Played it that way, played to hit the edge of the blue 2. It's a horrible place to be. You know, you're playing a race to 9, you're 6 down. You've missed a couple of opportunities as well. But if anything, you've got to stay in the moment and just try and enjoy it, really. Don't sit there and sort of give up and be a bit down on yourself. Things can change. Try and get get a couple of racks on the board.
And the one constant cause for hope is the winner break format. That promotes the possibility of recoveries, as we saw last year. You mentioned it at the top of the show, Carl. The 10-3 turned into an 11-10 victory by Shane Van Boening over Mika Immonen. 10-3 down and he wins. Extraordinary.
Yeah, the manner he come back in that match was simply outstanding from SVB. Usually defending champion would start the campaign, but the fact that Shane's from the US is going to play a little later, Phil.
And also we must mention the arduous final day at the Derby City Classic in southern Indiana. Basically, he got to the final of the 9-ball, Shane, lost to Fedor Gorsht, who was the master of the table because he also won the Banks event there. And they were playing, then waiting around and playing with no sleep, those two, for 28 hours. So many entries in that tournament. It was scary. Just underlining the boom that Poole is enjoying at the moment, thanks in no small part to Matchroom.
Good shot there. They're always a little more scary than it looks when you're holding the cue. From the camera angles we usually see, they're not as steep as when the player's behind the shot. Now he's in prime position, and I think there's a 7-9 combo. Yeah, there you see he's got a shot here, the green 6. As long as he can get just below that brown 7, he'll play the 7 onto the 9, and that's an early win. It's an early rack. If you pot the 9 early on, you win the rack. Needs us to bounce though. I want it to be straight on this. Now this becomes a lot harder now.
That wasn't exactly a small margin of error, was it? He had a lot of room to get in the position he wanted to be for the combo. The Cardinalson there leaving it short, which he has done. I think he's still favourite to complete the shot, but there's some doubt now.
He's playing the carom, he's playing off the edge of the 7 and sending the cue ball into the 9.
Wojciech Szewczyk
7-9, all is fine, and for Wojciech Szewczyk, this is turning out to be a delight. So let's just have a quick look at some outside table action. Look at this for Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. 8-0 up now, on the hill already. Just what you'd expect, really. The confidence level from 2022 continuing on into the brand new year. Now that is Max Eberle from the USA up against Max Lechner of Austria. Tight match that. Eberle just edging in front with that 9-ball over the pocket. One thing we know for sure after that match, one of them is going to be Mad Max. Don't shake your head, Carl. That was all right for me.
Disbelief.
And then I suppose if they were to lose 2 matches, they'd be Mad Max 2. Anyway, the players on table 1 have taken a short break, so that gives us the opportunity to come back live onto table 3 and see Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, you would assume, wrapping things up.
Yeah, and you know, when I seen the draw, it can be a tricky match, that. So sure, he's a funny kind of player. He plays very quick, and if you put him in a good hook snooker, he just whacks out of it a lot. He tries to get in your head, and I thought that could have been, well, not as convincing as this is going to be, but what a start to get your World 9-Ball Championship underway.
It's a white scene outside with the snow, and indoors it is a whitewash for Francisco Sanchez Ruiz, who has the distinction of recording the first victory of this year's World 9-Ball Championship. How different for him from when he played in the UK Open pool at the Copper Box Arena in London last year. Lost his first match and was 6-0 down in his second, eventually came back to reach the final.
Yeah, pay attention to this name as well. Johan Chua from the Philippines. The Filipinos, some of the best to do it on the 9-ball table, and Abdullah Al Youssef, he's becoming a name in the sport as well, but he's up against it there. Johan Chua, one of the young guns from the Philippines.
Talking about the Philippines, what about 68-year-old Efren Reyes, who was third in the one-pocket division at the Derby City Classic, won by Tony Chohan. Phenomenal.
Yeah, from Reyes, arguably the biggest legend in the game of 9-ball. A lot of the young guys from the Philippines, you know, he's their hero. It's good to see the likes of Chua here competing on this World 9-ball tour.
If you don't think international pool is popular, how about this? That Derby City Classic, the bank pool event, had 529 entries, one pocket 423, and then the 9-ball 527. So many players have caught the pool bug. They want to be involved in what is a growing sport with so much momentum. Against someone like Chua, Al Youssef knows he has to take this chance. We'll keep you informed about that match and all of the others as well. Now, though, back to table one, where after their small break, Szewczyk and Majid return.
Of course, the one ball goes in the left centre. Why wouldn't it? He's got the break dialed down. He might be chasing the 9-ball here as well. The 9 is lurking over the left corner. It doesn't look like he's got a pot on the 2, so he might chase the 9. If he does chase the 9, he's going to try and think of a two-way shot where he can get the cue ball over to this right-hand side of the table, play it at such a speed where if he misses it, the 2 stays near that corner, and then he's got 3 balls to play the hook as well.
So close, but that shot undoubtedly had value.
Yeah, and there's value in another combination here. Wasn't far away, was it? You could just see it in that sort of middle of the only place where you felt like he wouldn't pot the 9. Can he get his first rack on the board?
Yes, he can. The combo there, the 2-9. Getting Bashar Hussein Abdul Majid his very first rack. He'll be feeling so much better after that, and rightfully so. Had to be made, that. Not the cleanest of pots, but it toppled in nevertheless. By the way, I can tell you, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz next up. He will play either Wu Kunlin or Fabio Petroni. It's 4-4 there on table 14, so Sanchez Ruiz will have to wait a while to discover his next opponent. Now, it might be a bit of a stretch to say that we're going to see a sustained recovery here, but first things first, it's all about restoring respectability to the scoreline.
He's breaking from the other side. That's quite interesting. But at least he's found the other pocket, and the beauty of this is it is winner breaks, and he's now faced with an open look at the table. Wojciech, even though he's winning, he's not really had the best of form with his splits. That is the game of 9-ball. That's what it's about. After the break shot, you literally have to navigate yourself around the table with what the rack has given you, and just look at the split here. So can he make it 7-2? We've seen him being a little loose with the cue ball. He's going to need a good cue ball from the pink 4 to the purple 5. That's going to be the shot in this rack. It's either going to win or lose.
I know, Carl, I'm preaching to the converted, but winner break's definitely the way forward. It's given this match a whole new dynamic that he wouldn't have had with alternate break. Okay, there is a mathematical chance that someone could come back from well behind, but that chance is minimal.
Yeah, and I think moving forward, I would love to see, like, you know, a massive prize for winning the lag and running the set, because of course it's highly unlikely, but it would certainly tease the players. Nice shot there to draw that back straight, to leave a pot, which he's done so. I think you've just got to set yourself a bit of a target. He's got to keep Wojciech off 8. That would make you feel like you've got a bit of breathing space, but if you can get back to 7-4, just give something to think about. Comebacks do happen. We've seen them before. We've seen them in this very tournament. Awkward queuing a little bit. Got to be careful. Don't play this too hard. Yeah, smartly done. Let that pocket swallow the ball.
Round the back, nicely on the 9. The man from Qatar is not going down lightly. It was 7-0. He was staring at a clean sweep. Instead, though, it's 7-2. And now Wojciech Szewczyk is just feeling a slight amount of pressure. Going 6-3 up on Mariusz Skonecki. Also 6-3, by the way, on table 2. Johan Chua over Abdullah Al Yusuf.
Well, at last we've seen somebody miss the 1-ball on the break. It can be done, we're not joking.
At least he got the 8-ball in, so it wasn't a dry break. By the way, the winner of this will play the winner of the match on table 9 at the moment. Imran Majid, 6-3 up on Marco Tuta from Holland.
He's looking at sending this 1-ball down the table. He's got to avoid the left centre and softly drawing that cue ball over towards the 6. That's what he's played. had to avoid that side. That's okay, he knew the one was going to go near the side. A little bit fortunate, but he got a good cue ball. So now Wojciech, he's under pressure a little bit here, Phil.
Yeah, doubts start to creep in because it's 7-0, and with that combo possibility for 8-0, in his mind, he might have been thinking, well, this is basically over. Not over now. He has kicked superbly on more than one occasion in this match. Needs another here.
Rule number one, make sure you hit the ball. You could pot it in the right centre if it's full enough. He's got a chance. Went close. Everything else is out of your hands. It's all about just making sure you get a good hit. He's left a pot, but at least he's on the wrong side of this ball. See the cue ball float over to the right, and then he's got to come back over. Good pot. Just bumped the purple. Where the red 3 is, it's not the end of the world. You can just pot this ball now twice across, back out into the centre of the table. Even if he lands a little short and he lands in a similar path line to where the cue ball is now, he's going to have a pot on the red 3. This is all about making sure you pot the ball. This is playing into a big pocket from this angle as well. He can hit this rail quite far up. The pocket will take it. But he can't hit it there, Phil. Not that far up, not yet.
No, technically you just can't knock them in if you've got that amount of upper body movement. You might get away with the odd shot, but eventually it's going to catch you out. You need to be much quieter. And the shoulder has gone into so many shots, even very simple shots in the first rack, I was noticing.
Yeah, you can see he's got that. He's got that in him, that body movement as well. If you look at the table now, he tries to stay as still as possible. That is always going to favour you in the long run, especially under pressure as well.
Let me give you a quick result on table 6. Player you know well, Nikos Ikonomopoulos from Greece has beaten Ruben Bautista from Mexico 9-3.
Good to see Nikos competing. Very dangerous player. Very attacking player. Comes under that bracket of a player who goes for their shots. Doesn't like to hide the cue ball and play defensively. Does have an angle here, but can he get enough into the cue ball to come past that left centre? That's where he wants the cue ball to come.
Yeah, wanted to make a slightly fuller contact on the 6 there with the 4 ball. That would have left an easier positional angle for him. No issue though. Normal service, I think, is about to be resumed.
Yeah, he's done well there. He actually jacked up a little bit and sort of bent the cue ball a little bit. That was to just get the cue ball pulling down.
You know, Bashar Hussein Abdul Majid was born on Christmas Day. But he's received no gifts whatsoever from Wojciech Szewczyk here. The pole on the hill, leading by 8 racks to 2. Already through over his first hurdle, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. And that was the moment where he completed the whitewash, and let's hear from the always smiling Spaniard.
Francisco, fantastic start to the World Championship to win by 9 racks to 0. How well did you play out there?
Yeah, I played really good. I'm really happy with my first round. Always you play first round, you don't know how it's going to table, you know, it's difficult. But I'm really happy with my game and looking for the next one.
So much confidence from that amazing year you had in 2022. So how much of that confidence have you carried forward now into the new year?
Yeah, 2022 it was the unbelievable year for me. It's like a dream. But this is a new year. I have a new goal, so I give everything this year.
And here we are at a venue that Pool hasn't been to for over a decade, Kielce in Poland. Snow outside. What have you made of the place so far?
Yeah, I'm really excited because I've never been here in Poland, so that's my first time. So I try to enjoy every single moment here in the tournament and outside.
One of the favourites for the title, off to a winning start. We'll see you in the next round.
Yeah, I want to stay focused round by round, so I'm looking for the next round. That's my goal.
Well done. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Michael Macmillan there doing the interview, and Michael will be on the microphone for our next match here at the conclusion of this, which might be, from here now, a swift conclusion.
Yeah, the one ball's disappeared. I believe he's made every single one on the break. Tricky opener. It's awkward queuing because of the red 3. Good news is, if he pots the ball, the cue ball is going to naturally come round off the 2 rails for the 3. This is what we call the natural path. So after potting the ball, what is the natural path the cue ball takes? It is a tricky pot though, but he'll be focusing everything on the pot. He's overdone it.
Szewczyk wants to win this 9-2. I can tell you someone who has won 9-2. One of the powerhouses of European pool for many a year, Niels Feijen. He's beaten Mohamed Daydat from South Africa 9-2.
Yep.
Desislava Boshilova from Bulgaria, well known on the snooker tour as well as in pool. Cleaning of the white ball. You won't see so much of that when the shot clock comes in later in the week.
To come over another foot. He's got his own little way of playing. As Bashar moves him up on the shot. Lost the cue ball again. Has he got a pot? I think he's okay. I think he's been a bit fortunate there. He wanted the cue ball further out into the centre of the table. Balls are disappearing. Could have been a different match this, Phil, couldn't it? He's had a few chances in the balls.
Yeah, he's staying stoic. He's certainly
Bashar Majid wins the rack.
Wojciech Szewczyk's life a breeze. It's now 8-3. So this is the movement we're talking about on the shot. You see there, involuntary movement, the hip went into that one. Shaking Stevens. Now we just saw Francisco Sanchez Ruiz winning 9-0 and we heard from him. Well, now on table 3, it's Daniele Corriere from Italy taking on Khalid Al Ghamdi from Saudi Arabia. The teenager is a fine prospect who played so well. Outstanding he was at the Shane Van Boening Junior Open, which ran alongside the US Open in Atlantic City last year.
Yeah, just 17 years of age. Khalid, one of the top juniors, but he's made his way over to the pro circuit, the World 9-Ball Tour.
By 3 racks to 8.
He's also having a lot of success at potting the 1, but this is not good news. The cue ball's found the rail. It's a long straight shot on the 2, and just look where the red 3 has gone. It's going to nestle up on the green 6. This is not good for the man who is losing 8-3 and needs all the help he can get. One of the worst shots on a pool table trying to pot this. He probably won't even attempt the pot. I think you can see there he's not attempting the pot. He's just playing off the right edge, trying to get some sort of distance. This looks all right. He's done well there. Good snooker.
It was a good shot, but of course easier to control the nerves there because he had the security blanket of the 3 and the 6, as you say, Cole. And now the cluster has company. From the break, Szewczyk has been deadly. Few mistakes have crept in, but overall I think he'll be very happy with his performance level. But of course this is a very intense competition played over 5 days. The champion will be crowned here on Sunday night, and players don't want to expend any unnecessary mental energy. That's why Szewczyk wants to win this right here, right now. Carl, you were mentioning the Ko brothers earlier on as being contenders. Well, Ko Ping Chung, the younger of the 2 here, he's trounced Mikhail Gavenkiak from the Czech Republic 9-1. Interesting match on table 13. Petri Mäkinen, World Cup winner with Finland. He's 7-6 up on Elliot Sanderson, the shouter. If Sanderson wins that, you'll know about it, you'll hear it.
Not the best of shots, because that is going to give Wojciech the upper hand now in this safety battle. A really good chance of laying a good hook. 3 ball is tied up to a degree, but you can play it onto the 6, which would offer an easy combination. And the way he's got the cue ball welded onto the 3, that cuts out a lot of escape, so job well done.
That is a fiendish snooker. It really is. Especially when the guy who's late is on the hill.
He's got to hit this quite hard and get the cue ball checking up in a straight line quick. Oh, he's found the gap behind it. How do you find that gap? Look, he's still looking.
Low in hand.
Can't believe it.
It was a valiant effort, but it might well be his last shot of the match.
Amazing when you look at them replays. It's how does it miss it? It seems to miss it by a little fraction. All about this combo now for Wojciech. Should be okay there.
Had it not been for missing a 2-9 combination, he might well have won this without the loss of a rack. That was in the 8th. It gave Majid some kind of foothold. But now you have to think, with the disappearance of the 6, the end is nigh. As a Polish player and one of renown, a reigning world champion in 10-ball, it was a big thing for Wojciech Szewczyk to kick things off here in the World 9-ball Championship on home turf. I think all things considered, the display has been superb. He seemed calm, assured. No nerves have come to the surface, that's for sure. His father's here, his fiancée, lots of supporters. It was a big responsibility. And Szewczyk has shouldered that responsibility exceedingly well.
Yeah, this is a job well done. This simple 9-ball to advance into round 2.
Good display from Wojciech Szewczyk. He defeats Bashar Hussein Abdul Majid by 9 racks to 3, and he will now play Imran Majid or Marco Tuta in the next round.